Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome back. We are so glad you've decided to join us this morning. We just got through the holiday lessons, then we had 2 lessons on Naaman, and that was in 2 Kings chapter 5. As I was studying for today, I realized we missed a few stories back in 2 Kings, the early part, so we're going to jump backwards to chapter 2. In chapter 2, the setting is that Elijah has gone to heaven, and now we are on Elisha. So that's where we're picking up today in verse 19. It says, "And the men of the city said unto Elisha, Behold, I pray thee, the situation of this city is pleasant, as my Lord seeth, but the water is not, and the ground barren." So basically, the water wasn't any good, so it was making so they couldn't grow any plants or vegetables on it. So, no bamboo, Peter. The water wouldn't let the bamboo grow. So Elisha, who is the man of God, the prophet of God, he said, okay, well, bring to me, which is in verse 20, he says, bring to me a cruse, so a container, a new one, and fill it with salt. Put salt in it and bring it to me. So the people obeyed that. Thank you, Peter, for bringing along our salt today. Probably didn't look quite like that, but yeah, it brought some salt. And so they brought it to him. They obeyed. They did what he said. Salt is yummy, isn't it, Peter? But then you're going to be thirsty. Verse 21 says, "And he went forth unto the spring of the waters and cast the salt in there, and said, Thus saith the Lord, I have healed these waters. There shall not be from thence any more death or barren land." So he pours it in, and he says, just as the Lord says, there's not going to be any more death or any more barren land. Verse 22, "So the waters were healed unto this day, according to the saying of Elisha, which he spake." So he's able to perform a miracle because God's power was on him. So this is awesome. This is going great. He's doing miracles, and he goes and he starts to take a trip. He starts to travel to another city. In verse 23, it says, "And he went up from thence unto Bethel. And as he was going up by the way, there came forth little children out of the city, and mocked him, and said unto him, Go up, thou bald head, go up, thou bald head." They start to make fun of him, and they're teasing Elisha, like, "Oh, you're bald," and they start making fun of him. Well, verse 24 says, "And he turned back and looked on them, and cursed them in the name of the Lord. And there came forth 2 she-bears out of the wood, and tare 42 children of them." Yeah, we brought along our she-bear, our mama bear. That way you wouldn't think pandas killed children. Thank you to our bear. So these 42 children who'd been mocking Elisha, God sent along 2 mama bears who came and tear them apart. Verse 25, "And he went from thence to Mount Carmel, and from thence he returned to Samaria." Yeah, sounds yummy, but he's going to a mountain. So he's traveling, he goes on his way and goes to the next location that God has for him. Boys and girls, I see 2 things in the story. One, God works miracles. Okay, we often think of the New Testament. When Jesus was on earth and all the miracles he did, there were also miracles in the Old Testament. So God used Elisha to perform this miracle, but it was God who gave the power. God cured the water and he cured the land. And then the second thing, boys and girls, be kind and be respectful. Okay. I would hope that none of you would be teasing the preacher or the pastor. Okay, we do have Pastor Barbaro, who does not have hair on the top of his head. You should not go around making fun of that. But boys and girls, it's not just that one isolated situation. Don't ever call anyone bold. But make sure that you are kind to everyone, boys and girls. You shouldn't mock or make fun of anyone, and you should be respectful to those who are in authority. So as you go about your week this week, make sure that you are kind and you are respectful.